Hey guys, good morning. Happy weekend morning or Saturday morning, and we have a new friend joining in, Kasthuri. She's joining in from Singapore. She's been born and brought up in Singapore, been there all along, and she does things quite differently. I mean, she is part of many activities. A couple of things which I remember from the long introduction she shared. She is into yoga. She is, a yoga instructor. She's been preaching and practicing yoga for almost close to 2 decades. She is a Goodwill ambassador. She is a ambassador for or an influencer for education, global education, where they basically participate and discuss on what are the practices, best practices, what are the changes, what are the reforms that can bring in. This might be a good topic because now India is seeing a good reform. 2020 seems to be having a good change in education system. She is also ambassador and for various organization, and she does a lot of fundraising and activities for both India and Nepal. So why Nepal? We'll check out during our discussion. But good to have you here, Kasturi. I mean, maybe you can tell us about multiple activities. Being a global educational influencer is great. I wasn't aware of such activity that was happening, and I was going through what this means, and who were other participants, and I see awesome profiles there, people from different educational backgrounds, people who are heading or leading as teachers, senior teachers who are part of these educational as an educational influencer. I'm sure all of you guys do a great job. And I especially like the way you're doing some activities around the small villages, both in India and Nepal. So thanks for being here. Maybe you can tell us about what made Kasturi get into some of these activities. Why yoga? Why educational as an educational influencer? And why that NGO activity of giving back to the society?
Yeah. Hi, Ravi and viewers. It's an honor to be in your show because amazing initiative. This is really like where you feature people from around the world who can share their experiences and inspire other people. Well, about me, yeah, you have already introduced me so wonderfully. Thank you so much. A little bit more about myself. Yes, I call myself educationist. Why? Apart from the hours that I earn money as an educator, my other activities, apart from my school hours, also involve largely around children. I feel it all started there, Ravi, because teaching is actually serving humanity, I feel, right?
True.
So you learn a lot from children. So basically, they open a lot of perspectives of life to me itself. So I do a lot of activities apart from the school hours, like anything got to do with their holistic well-being. Let it be physical well-being, let it be emotional well-being, or spiritual well-being. So I cover all areas, and I do not just confine it to school hours. So what I do, like example, during this COVID time, I gather some children around my community or my school environment, and then I get them into say Zoom, and then we carry out a lot of activities like storytelling, and then sometimes some parents will call me for a chat. Teacher Kasturi, can we just meet you for some chat? I need advices, things like that. So I'm always out there for children at any time, right? So that's why I say that I love to do activities that involve children a lot in a holistic manner. Now, you asked me why am I doing such things, like basically based on humanity. Now, humanity is, you are actually concerned about the well-being of others. So that's how you get in there. But apart from that, I'm also concerned about your own self-awareness. Now, that is how actually yoga came into the picture. Well, it all started after giving birth to my elder son. And then I wanted to be back in shape. That's how it started. But later I found that it was doing great benefits for me. Apart from that, I would love to adopt the yoga lifestyle. So, I started off watching videos and then learning yoga. Then I went to an organization, and then I learned from a proper instructor. I was getting better at it. as I always mention, when you want to get even better at something, you share your knowledge and you teach other people. That's how the only way you can get better at it. So I started to actually learn to be a yoga instructor. And then again, why do I do volunteer? Because I felt that I wanted to give back to the society through yoga. So I carry out free yoga session along with some other wonderful yoga instructors who are volunteers. They are working full time elsewhere, but we all gather every Saturday morning, Sunday mornings, and then we carry out mass yoga practices in some organizations. And I personally gather some housewives, sometimes some domestic workers. They have their off days on Sundays. So they were saying, can we learn yoga from you? Say, okay, fine, we will do it together. So I just have small group sessions with them. So I wanted to share the goodness of yoga, and I learned about the philosophy, about human body anatomy, as well as the yoga poses as well. So why are all this coming in? Why do I do it for free? Is um, really the way I was brought up, Ravi. It's like what I saw from my parents, my grandparents. Probably they modeled me what is humanity all about. I've seen with my own eyes how my grandparents like served other people without any expectation. I have seen how my father has given out lots of money, donations to people right in front of my eyes. I've seen how my mother used her own ways, like her passion, her expertise is cooking. She loves cooking, and that's how she expresses herself. She cooks for people a lot. She cooks for her neighbors, she cooks for people at her workplace. So basically I have seen all this around my environment, and I have wonderful childhood. I've had a happy childhood, I would say. So that's why I always want to make sure that other children also benefits because of that happy childhood, and I've witnessed that kind of a lifestyle. Now this is who Kasthuri is because of what I witnessed and what I saw as models. So I want the other children to also grow up this way. So that is why I do all efforts, whatever efforts that I take in, I want to make sure that the children are in good condition, good environment, positive environment. So apart from all this yoga, yes, I do yoga instructions, and then as well as, yes, I'm an educationist. I have my own blog actually, which is called Gems Unearthed. Oh, this is an amazing thing that I came out with. One fine day, I was sitting at the dinner table. I was talking to my husband. I said, I I feel so happy to actually see people doing amazing things. I started like looking into like good things, even the tiniest bit, Ravi. So I was sitting with my husband, like, it doesn't need to be someone who is like in a celebrity position or someone who's popular, someone who's famous. But what about these unsung heroes? They are doing amazing things. I felt like I wanted to showcase them, feature them. So that's how Gems Unearthed came. Actually, the name itself, my husband is the one who suggested. So I said, I want to put, like, should I put unsung heroes? Should I put hidden gems? Then he came out with this word unearthed. I was like, wow, amazing name. And then we added gems into it. So it's basically from the feeling of attitude for gratitude, because I was very thankful for the things that were happening around me, even in the tiniest way. And I wanted to feature these people because I wanted to give hope to every single person out there that they have goodness in them in every sense. And this shows that you don't need to be a celebrity to do something good. You are already doing good, and I want to amplify it, though they are, though they do not like to be praised or featured. But I want to do my part. So I have featured amazing people in my Gems Unearthed and from all over the world. So I was like, it was a happy journey. And the beauty of it, Ravi, is like when they themselves actually tell about themselves. Well, how I approach them is like, usually I approach my gems. Yeah, I approach them and say, hey, I would like to feature you in my blog. And they go, what did I do? I say, you are doing amazing things which you didn't know. Now, I would love to know about what you have done. So the way they write, and then at the end of the day when they give it to me, Ravi, because sometimes I give them options because some may be expressed through writing, but some might not be. I say, don't worry about the writing. I will do that. So I get their voice messages, anything, any way that they want to send me about their profile, about whatever they do. So they send me, and then they mention something, Ravi. They say that, Kasthuri, do you know that I have never ever reflected that I have done so much and it means a lot to someone? Wow, Ravi, I felt so happy for that. So I wanted that. I wanted for them to rewind back what they have done and how much they have actually contributed to the society. And that gave me so much of satisfaction, Ravi. Like when they mentioned that, I was like so happy. Yes, you are doing something. So you have to appreciate it. And I wanted to amplify it. That's how it came about. It's just like what you're doing, Ravi. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you
So
guys are
we started with
interviewing,
the same
right?
thought process. So
Yeah.
yeah, we had this particular segment of 1 minute CM, and then we had our guests who said we want to showcase our kids. So we thought, okay, kids should be a different segment. They're a different audience and all that. We started K-12, okay, Work TV, K-12 TV. And then we had people who were elderly, and they said, okay, I want to showcase my grandma, grandpa. So then we said, okay, let's start Work Grand. So Grand is basically a digital autobiography of people who have had like who've settled down like maybe in 50s or 60s where they're like grandparents, and we started doing digital autobiography for them. So
Amazing.
similar journey, and I know how we feel when we go get compliments. There are some things some people have done like live shows for the first time. Some people have expressed themselves for the first time. Some people, even the family didn't know what they were doing, and once they came live, they saw the interaction, interviews, some questions. They came to know that, hey, this girl who's with us for a long time, she's our family member. Entire world knows what she is doing, but we don't know as family members what she was doing in her career. So things like that, which right word, unearthed, after these episodes. So that's like fulfilling thing, achievement. Like you're doing something for others, and you're creating that digital footprint, and making inspiring people. And what you do, in terms of words, I'm very bad at writing. I'm very bad at reading. So that's the reason maybe I've chosen the video format, because
It's okay.
I'm
It's
very bad at
wonderful.
these two. Whatever you do, we both have similarities, but yeah, reading
Yeah.
and writing is something which I really, I mean, that's not my cup of tea. But yeah, what you're doing in terms of showcasing people, simple people, I mean, that's very important, because you're not only passing or registering what they've done, but you're also inspiring others to do something. Seeing this, they would also start this particular thing. Like you started, you had a lovely childhood, you saw your parents do it. When you're doing it, you're actually creating the same aura around you, which will get replicated. If there are I've seen all your profile, like most of, I mean, there are hardly any single profile. Everybody, it's always a group of people around you. Okay. Most of the pictures, I don't know how you're surviving this COVID.
Right.
But out of that, at least 20 to 30% of kids, or your friends or colleagues who are doing things together along with you, would definitely get influenced with the way you're doing it, and will try to replicate in their own capacity. So awesome.
Abs-
Good one.
Thank you, Ravi.
So we should celebrate, because we are
Yeah.
like-minded, we're doing similar things. We should actually celebrate.
Absolutely. It's just the way is different because I'm more expressive in writing, like what you mentioned. Well, you are more expressive through words, like, speaking to people. Fine, great, because I need some time. Like, that's not my main job, but it's a passion. So I take my own time. So because I'm working and all that, but this is my passion, so I do it slowly. And I love to read, and I do lots of reading, lots of writing. So that's that way of expression.
So who takes these photographs? Like I've gone through Gems Unearthed. So who they share these pictures with you? Because
Yes,
even the pictures are like very unique. They're like, they're like as if, they're posing for a, professional photographer, very unique, and, related to their passion. The confidence looks out in this particular picture. They're definitely not some, family picture they're just sharing because you've asked for it.
Yeah,
So
they do, because I always get permission from them, and then they share their pictures, whatever pictures that they want to share with me, they will send it over to me. Yeah. So it's really an amazing journey. It taught me a lot of things, Ravi, because it opened a lot of perspectives. Because many of the time, like we try to be around our circle of people, but when I started reaching out, especially I would say thanks to social media, especially LinkedIn. Now, when I was when I started to be in LinkedIn, that's where I get connected with people around the world. Now, really around the world. So I learned that the way I live is not the only way, Ravi. There are so many people out there. Their lives are different. Their way of education is different. It's all about the understanding. So that is how my recent project to Nepal started, because I was connected to an amazing Australian educator. I would love to say his name is Gavin McCormack, and he put out a post saying that like he need help for working out, transforming a school in Nepal. So it's an amazing journey, Ravi, because this is the power of social media I would love to express, and the power of people. That's why I love that subject. I love is people. That's why you noted that everywhere around me is people. I mean, are people around me. And yes, I feel that people have the power in their intelligence, and people are the powerful one. COVID has proved us that nothing wrong with nature. I know everyone is like blaming, oh, nature is taking its course. No, during the COVID period, before the COVID period, after the COVID period, the sun still shined, right? Rain whenever it wanted to rain, it rained. But it was because of our human activities, something we have caused. And again, the human is the one, we went together, came together, and we resolved it. Now, so we have to know the power of human and our intelligence. So it has to be a positive one, right, Ravi? So I mean, coming back to that now, so we gathered around like educators from India, Nepal, China, Australia. We all came together. It's an amazing moment. We met at Kathmandu. We have never met each other before, Ravi. We have never met each other before. So we all met at Kathmandu. We got together, and then we moved to this village called Nawalprasi in Nepal. When we went into the school, oh my God, like it's like school. There were just benches and a blackboard. That's it. No other resources, Ravi. No other resources. It was so sad because, oh my goodness, the schools in Singapore, the schools I taught, the schools I went, it's like amazing places. But when I went there, oh my goodness, my heart just sank. So we carried along with us like lots of resources, materials from Singapore. The other teachers, they brought from their own countries, and then we painted the whole school, and then we put carpet, we made furnitures for these classrooms, and then we put in all the materials. Now the classrooms are much better than the ones you see in Singapore, I would say. I have shared the photos in my FB page, so you could take a look at it. So again, why it was is because, look, I always felt that like I was kind in some way. I always wanted to donate. I always wanted to help people. How I started was like I started by donating money. Like every month from my salary, there is an amount I keep aside to donate. like a very popular organization, I would say UNICEF is part of the organization that I donate monthly, and some other organization like People for Dementia, as well as cancer patients. So this is an amount that I kept for myself for every month. Now, I was still not happy. I was like, my money is going, yeah, to the organization they are doing, but something else I wanted to do. So I get this educators contact, and I did what? I collected materials, I collected teacher supplies, school supplies, and I personally sent, I mean, not personally, I sent over to Nepal through to Singapore Post. So through post, I sent it over. So they will receive it, and then they will send the photos and all. I was still not happy. It's like hands on. Now, that was an opportunity for me to use my hands to really help. Then that gave me so much of satisfaction. Really, when I went there to help them, help the school to be transformed, renovate, and painted my own painting, it was really amazing. And then to see the people there, and then we taught the teachers how to carry out their classes. And Nepal really, I felt that village needed help a lot, especially even the teachers, the children needed lots of help. So reaching out to these countries really gave me so much of satisfaction, because I come from a country where education has been the most important thing. So when I felt that I come from such a country and I've experienced it, it made me so sad when someone somewhere else is not experiencing the same life as me. Well, where is the equality? So that, but we have to do something. We cannot just sit down and be unhappy or sad about it. We have to make the move, and I made it.
Superb. And thanks to the initiative, the entire group which took up this particular initiative and made it happen. There are a lot
Yeah,
of plannings that happen, but it's important how you execute it, how you really make it happen in your own capacity. I'm sure, if everybody takes such small initiatives, we can change the world. It doesn't matter, geographically where we are located. It's the intention of the intent. I think we can do a lot more.
yeah,
Superb.
absolutely.
I can relate to how it goes. Painting, we've done a couple of Anganwadis. Me, my family, my kids, everybody has painted and transformed few schools ourselves. So we know what it takes. How much sweat you get. But end of the day, it's the feeling of you, see before and after pictures. That's
Absolutely.
like a memorable activity which you have done. Something which you've given back. It stays forever.
Right. It says my name, so it's like, oh my goodness. And my name has been etched in one marble plaque over there, and it's stuck there. It's like a memory, such a memory. I mean, it was so wonderful to feel that, yeah, to see that.
Super. So, Kasturi, we have some rapid fire questions we want to start
Yeah,
with. Before we
perfect.
start, do you have any other things which you want to pass on to our friends? Anything
No,
else?
I'm fine. It's just that like there are times where I would need help around people around the world to probably like contribute to these kind of schools. I would be actually posting on my Facebook page or maybe LinkedIn page. So keep a lookout, and if you have something that you would love to donate, please reach out to me, because yeah, they really need help, like in book forms, like especially school supplies. They really need it. So if you have, please keep it, and maybe you can share. I mean, I can share with them the address where they can send it to. Yeah,
Yeah. So, guys,
that's
friends, this is an important message. There are two, three category of activities that happens in an NGO. Either you run an NGO, okay, it is very difficult to run an NGO. Second, if you are not able to run an NGO, support an NGO or an organization or an individual who is doing community service so that they are successful as a team to run it. Third, do fundraising in your own capacity, whether it is 20 rupees, a pencil, or pair of shoes, or books for a year for a student. Everything counts. So don't think that it is a commitment. Think that okay, it might be just one-time activity, but do it, and it will be fruitful. So these are the ways you can contribute. So do follow her. and we'll get into rapid fire questions, so that we get to know Kasthuri well.
Okay, that's interesting.
Okay, what was the last funny video you saw?
Funny video. Oh my goodness. Okay, it was actually. Oh, I saw this movie just recently. Akshay Kumar.
Hmm.
Oh my God.
Oh my god!
Oh my
Okay,
God. Yeah,
yeah,
that
that's
movie.
an
Oh
old
my
movie,
God.
but yeah.
Oh my goodness. I couldn't stop laughing with this guy. So I don't know their names. It's a Hindi movie. I speak Tamil. Well, I see the subtitles. I love Hindi movies. So I see the subtitles to watch them. So that was the funny movie I saw recently. Oh my God. I fell in love with Akshay Kumar ever since I saw his toilet.
Hmm.
I don't know how you pronounce it. Is it Patman or Patman? I don't know. But
Had.
if he's a Patman, he was a good Patman. Anyway, so Toilet was one of his movie that I loved watching. So I just like, oh my goodness, he's my idol now. So I searched for Akshay Kumar picture and videos, and I saw this movie. Oh my God, fantastic.
Yeah. All of his movies nowadays have a message.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Superb. 3 words to describe Kasthuri.
3 words to describe me. Oh my goodness. Wow, wonderful. Kind, generous, and smiley, I would say.
Good one. So what's your favorite way to waste time?
Oh, dream.
Okay,
I
so
will
you
just sit anywhere and dream. I can do that. I'm very good at that. I'll just sit somewhere and stare into the space. That's how I waste time actually. Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
okay, so does Akshay Kumar come into those dreams, or it's just solo dreams?
Solo dreams. I'll just stare into the space, Ravi, like sometimes because I am a very busy lady. Let me tell you, because apart from all these, my favorite role, that my special role I play is that like I'm a wife and a mother of 2 teenagers. My son is 17, my daughter is 15. I work as well as I come back. I do everything myself, Ravi. So I clean up the house, I cook everything. I do it
Wow.
myself with my husband as well. So we are busy people. I am busy. So that special time that I sit down and dream. Sometimes I really, after everything, like now I'm here, right before I met you, I just finished my cooking, and then I say, everything is ready, you're going to eat. And then I'm sitting here right in front
Wow.
talking to you. So I had no time to actually sit down and relax. So the times when I really take that amazing time.
You have 2 teenager kids.
I have 2 teenager kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I cannot compliment because my wife has asked not to compliment when I'm live. So.
Okay. Thanks to yoga. And always smiling with children, right? So that's a blessing. I feel Ravi, because I'm always around children and I'm always finding ways to be humorous to even my own family. So I'm a crazy mom, so I'm a crazy wife. So I laugh a lot. We joke a lot. We use lots of humor in our life, and that's why I love comedies. I love to watch comedies, Ravi. Yeah.
So, do you have pets?
I do not have pets.
Okay.
Well,
if you had, what would you name them?
I do not have pets, but I would love to have, because I have grown up with dogs. All my life, there were dogs. So we wanted to have one, but I told my husband, let our children grow up a little bit and then let them be a little bit bigger, then they can be a more responsible, because lots of responsibilities there for pets. So, but something that we are thinking now.
Okay. So, what was your favorite pet's name, from the pets which you grew up with?
Okay, of course, I grew up with dogs, and I'm right now 41. You can imagine, like I've seen around like at least three different dogs in my life. So, the first one was like Vairavan, and then second one was like Baby, and the third one is of course the foremost, latest, and the lovely, memorable one is Jimmy. Yeah, he was the pet that I had. Yeah, I had many pets actually, like My husband used to have fish. Yeah. So we brought it back to our home as well. So we had fish. I've grown, I've had a rabbit before. We've had chicken. So it's like my childhood, like we've grown up with lots of pets around our home. So yeah, it was wonderful.
Okay, when was the last time you worked incredibly hard that you forgot timings, you forgot about the time to eat your meal? So when was that last time?
Okay, when was the last time I forgot to eat? Hmm, interesting question. Many times I've done that, but something that is very memorable will be the recent one when I needed to submit my assignment, Ravi, because um, let me see. Right now, I'm also doing my master's in education because I always believe as education is always transforming, the only way a teacher can get updated is through learning. A teacher should always keep learning and be updated with all the trends that are happening in education. And also, like you see, virtual learning has taken over. So I was a teacher, was a person who hated computer. Well, COVID has taught me many things as a teacher as well. So I learned computer much better than before, and I keep learning. So recently for the masters, I had to really work so hard because, as I told you, I'm working. I'm a mother. I have to cook. I have to clean. So upon all this, that took me a lot of time. So yes, I forgot to eat. There was just like probably a month ago. So I'm taking a little break for a while. So probably that was like a month ago, Ravi. Yeah, for my assignments.
So what do you do when you hang out with your friends? So
What do I
what
do?
does Kasturi bring in when you're meeting
Oh,
friends?
really? As I told you, like I'm full of laughter. I'm a person like I just like to, if I meet my friends, we just want to chat. We just want to chat, and like maybe drink coffee, tea, and just be ourselves. I do not like very formal kind of meetings. I prefer something that we can relax and be ourselves, joke around. I love to joke around and be humorous. So I love to laugh. So anywhere where I can laugh and be myself, and people who appreciate for having that crazy Kasturi, I'm fine with that. I'm happy.
Super. Who's your oldest friend and the most recent friend? And where did you meet both of them?
Okay, recent one, I would say my oldest friend. Wow, very interesting. Let me see. I would say my neighbor. Okay, my neighbor's mother-in-law, in fact, she's the oldest friend that I have, and I love her so much because the times where I used to be a housewife, the time when my son was born, Ravi, I stayed back at home. So I stayed back to look after my children. So my friend, my direct friend, my very immediate friend was like my neighbor. She was looking after her grandchildren. So we interacted a lot, we learned a lot, and she is a Chinese. So she will send over her grandchildren to my house, and my children go over to her house. I learned a lot. We cooked and we shared food, and we go out together, and then we had lots of conversations. Sometimes she will pour out her problems, her sorrows, and then sometimes like I will share what are my challenges are. So she was the oldest friend that I even unearthed her because she is an amazing woman. Recently I was like, my goodness, at this age she's around 70 plus, 74, 72, I can't remember. Well, she's doing an amazing job, Ravi, because she's old. From young she has been tailoring, and in this COVID period she used her tailoring skill to sew free masks for the community.
Wow.
Amazing. So I would say she's the oldest friend that I can remember right now. I've got many old friends because I love being with children and being with old senior citizens. So she is one that I recall and I wish to say now.
So the youngest or the most recent one?
The youngest, wow, the most recent one, of course, definitely will be my students, definitely. But I wouldn't say, okay, apart from students, let me see, the youngest one. Yeah, one that I met recently near my block area, near my residential area, will be this little girl who was actually cycling around the vicinity. So we had a chat with each other, and then she was explaining to me about how she got into cycling, and I explained to her how I did my cycling. So that was the youngest friend that I had. Probably she was just around like three years old. So she was having these training wheels. So she was complaining a lot about like her training wheels. She said that I would love to ride without training wheels, but her father is not allowing it. And then we had a conversation out of that. Yeah, right.
Good one.
So that was amazing one.
Yes, sometimes these kids are like so adorable, and without saying anything, without talking, the exchange with eyes, the communication with eyes, the communication with smile, and all that. As if we know that, okay, I know this particular kid, and they are like, I know this person for a long time.
Yeah.
That's magic.
Yeah, it's just that's why I love questions, Ravi, especially children. You don't have to give them answers. Ask them. They have
They do.
all, I mean, the way they talk to you. That's why I love teaching children because I feel that ever since I've been working with children, they have been actually teaching me a lot more stuff about life than I am teaching them, really, to be very frank. Yeah.
What is the best thing or the worst thing about your school, your school days, like your childhood?
Um, I, Ravi, I have never loved going to school. Would you believe it? I've never
Yeah.
liked going to school because I loved home. I loved my mother. I loved my father. I loved my grandfather, especially. Oh my goodness, I had a wonderful grandfather. I will always stick to him. And I didn't want to go to school because I was afraid that I had to leave him. So I was very close with my grandfather. I didn't like school because home was better. It's not that school was bad,
Almost.
home was better because I can get to do things I want. I get to play. As I told you, I was actually living with an environment full of loves from aunties, loves from uncles, love from cousins. We all lived together, like cousins all lived together. So I come from a very big family. So I just simply loved home. The good thing about my school days is that if you say tertiary education is the time that actually opened up the real Kasturi, because as I told you, I didn't like school. I was very reserved. I was very quiet and not expressive. The only person that I used to express was my grandpa. And then otherwise, I used to write diary a lot. So my diary knows me better than anyone else, even my mom and dad. So I used to write a lot. Other than that, I used to express myself to my grandpa. But it was tertiary education where when I did interior designing course, when I had to actually present a lot of my works, there was a time where transformation happened in Kasturi. So I started presenting myself a lot better than I used to be, and I learned how to express myself. So that was one thing. So lesser writing in the diary happened then. Yeah. And of course, after seeing my husband, because he became my diary. Yeah.
Good one. So so nice, connecting with you, interacting with you. So with all this experience, if you had to come back or pick up a state in India and you become the chief minister, what are the areas you would focus on? What is the value you will bring back or drive in India?
Okay. That's a very exciting question. Yeah, I would love to be a CM, of course. The thing is that, Ravi, I will again education is the focus that I will always bring in. Education for all, and it's quality education for all. So that is something that I will really, really focus on, because I know not everyone is getting equal education in India. So, and a lot more countries. Because Singapore, I come from a place, it's very different, where quality education is equal to everyone here, and it's formal, so I would love to concentrate on education as well as life skills, Ravi. What are the life skills? Like, I would say every child should know about, for example, fire safety, because these are things that, like, a lot of times taken for granted and being ignored. Fire safety, I would say first aid. Every child should know first aid, fire safety, political rules, know your rights. What are your rights? And I think these are the main areas that I will be looking at. And of course, humanity, how to be helpful to the other people, other countries, connect. Multiculturalism in education is something that I would really, really encourage, because if you want to encourage or propagate multiculturalism, your schools should have multicultural teachers and children in it. That's the only way that you can actually model it. Because as globalization is becoming very popular, Ravi, now every teacher is going to see multicultural population in their classrooms. And so they have to understand, teachers have to be equipped with the skills to actually bring about the right activities, to bring out the values that each and every culture, race, language can bring to the society. So multiculturalism in education is something that I would really propagate and advocate for.
Good point. First time somebody is talking about this. I've seen people talking about education and specific issues, but this multicultural, exposure of what happens in each country, what are the best practices, that discussion. This is the first time somebody is, pointing out on that. Good one. Good one.
Yes, because I come from a background where we have like four different races living in harmony: Chinese, Malay, the Indians, and Eurasians. So you see, the thing is that why the one of the reasons why this country is successful is, yes, we all are different, but we are all the same in some ways. So it's about celebrating that unity in the diversity. So this is something that should be propagated everywhere. And if you have noticed, the recent problems are always, you see, Ravi, the things that you do not want to talk about. What are they? Politics, we don't want to talk about. Religion, we don't want to talk about. And about, of course, sex and all that, we don't want to talk about. But do you realize that these are the areas that are causing problem everywhere?
Sure.
Children should be aware of these problems. That is one thing that I would say as an educationist, like, these are areas that children should be educated in and should have a civil communication about it, because it's not about tolerance, it's about accepting. No one need to be tolerated here. I feel about accepted as who you are. So these are the only ways that we can advocate that.
Super. Good one. Nice meeting you, Kasturi. I mean, it was a nice conversation. I'm sure this will benefit many people who are teachers, people who are parents. I mean, parents, and then we also have common people who can contribute back to the society, running an NGO or at least helping an NGO who are driving some activities. So I really admire the way you're driving some of these activities parallelly without compromising on anything. Wish you loads and loads of luck. Wish you loads and loads of stories, because there are a lot of gems out there who are still unearthed. So I'm glad that you're digging them out and you're highlighting them. So yeah, wish you a happy journey in this, and thanks for joining in. So friends, do connect with Kasturi. As she mentioned, if you're looking for a role model who is doing equal contribution in all these aspects, and you might be with similar like-minded mentality, where you're looking for a personality like that whom you can check out as an example and drive even one bit of what Kasthuri is doing, I think it will be quite fulfilling and giving back to the society. So thanks a lot, Kasthuri, for joining in, taking time for this, and we're glad as WurkTV you joined us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ravi. Thank you so much. There's such kind words from you as well. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you and chatting with you, and wish you all the best as well. We are doing the same thing but different ways. So wishing you all the best and keep featuring inspiring people. Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a great Saturday.
Thank you. Bye.